it's Shelby, otherwise known as Shelbizleee here on YouTube, and today I'm coming back at you guys with kind of an ULTA haul, but more so a DIY. Recently I've been finding a lot of palettes that are subpar, that are not in really great condition. They have like bits and pieces left in it from employees scratching them out, you know what I mean? And I thought about repressing them and keeping them, or maybe even selling them on my website, because a lot of these are duplicates of things that I already have found. But then I stopped and thought about it, and I came up with a really cool idea. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. So these are the palettes that I found recently. A few of these you guys may have already seen in other hauls, maybe not. Maybe they're like duplicates and triplicates? Is that a word? Maybe they're like the third of the same thing that I found already. But I just want to quickly show you guys the ones that I have found recently that I decided to incorporate into a brand new palette that I customized myself. So the first one is everyone's favorite. I gave away my other Alice palette like last month, and I already shipped it out to her. Shout out to her if she's watching. But yeah, I found another Alice palette, and hopefully, or not hopefully, but like I think these will probably be the last round of these that we find, because they've been out of stores for a while. So I don't know how people are still finding them, including myself, but there's that. This is the 5th Naked Smoky palette that I have found. This one didn't have a lid on it, so it's not in the greatest condition. You can see it's just kind of scratched through, product is missing, you know, etc. So I decided I'd go ahead and incorporate it into some of these new shadows that I made as well. The next palette I found would have been so exciting if I hadn't gotten the same one from another dumpster diver the week before I found this one. But I have 2 Sweet Peach palettes. One of them is in really good condition. This is the one that I found. And then the one that I got from another dumpster diver actually was a little more depotted, dug through, and all that good stuff. So I went ahead and used this one to incorporate into the palette that I'm making. This is also the 3rd Naked 2 palette that I found, but this one is missing a lot of shades, and the ones that are there have been dug through. So I decided to use this one as well. There were also a few shades left in this Naked Basics, literally 3, and I decided to use a little bit of these. And then the last 2 little palettes that I have is this. It's called Beauty Gems. It's from ULTA. It didn't have a lid when I found it. I think I found 2 of these. And then I also have this NYX palette. I think was part of their like holiday edition. Yeah, the Wanderlust London palette. I don't know, but it looks like this. So I decided to use these 2 in my new palette as well. And then last but not least is the Tarteist Pro palette that I found that was pretty empty, but it's new and improved now. Inside here at this point is a brand new palette that I have custom made, so we're gonna get to that. But before we get there, I want to tell you guys that I have this freaking scalpel set, this edge instrument set, that I think I've had since my freshman year in high school. We had to buy these whenever we were dissecting pigs in 9th grade, which is really fucking sad to think back on. But I've had this for a really long time, and it just looks like this. Hold on. But yeah, it just looks like this. It just has a bunch of instruments in it, like these little scissors and a little like spatula thing, and some little like whatever you would call these, like little picks. But this is like super helpful when you're repressing palettes, so you can scrape any, like even the little edges off with these little pointers, and then you can use this to repress things without alcohol. So if you guys are dumpster divers and you want to do anything like what I'm going to show you here today, or you just enjoy repressing your palettes in general, I highly recommend you guys get one of these. It'll be really handy for you. And I wanted to link you guys to one, so I went and found this exact same one on Amazon, and I'm going to link it below for you guys. If you're a dumpster diver, you need to get one of these. So I've already done all of the repressing and combining of all these different shades to make this palette, and this is what it looks like. I think it's really pretty, and there's a lot of really cool shades in here that like I've never seen anywhere else. So I'll just show you a few of them, the ones I remember what I combined to make this shade. If there was some product left in the palette itself, like left over from the Tarteist Pro palette, then I used that color to incorporate with other ones. Like for instance, you can tell that these shades right here are pretty similar to the palette that it's sold as. But this is mixed with something else from the Alice in Wonderland palette. I took the color that was left in here and added in some Metamorphosis to give it more of a blue color rather than just like a shimmery color. And if I'm not mistaken, I added in some of this silver right here from the Naked Smoky palette to give it more of the metallic look. This one I don't think had very much product left, so I took this color, that red color you can see on the bottom right there, from this NYX palette and incorporated it with that one. I remember for this color, I also took some from the Naked Smoky palette, this color right here, and I think I combined it with this color as well so that it wasn't the same, it wasn't as shimmery, but it was still opaque. I know that this one is a mix of that color you see right there, Pistol, from the Naked 2 palette, and I mixed it with this green color from the Sweet Peach palette called Bless Her Heart, which just made it more green but also a toned down green. Basically all I did to get all these shadows in here, like you see, they're really nicely pressed compared to how I normally repress things. All I did to get it to be this good is use this instrument palette, and I scraped away each of the shadows that I wanted to put into each of the shadows in the new palette, and then I put them in there and mixed them all together really nicely, and then I could use the spatula again from this Instruments palette, and they packed in really, really nicely. But yeah, I thought this was so cool. I still think it's really cool. It was a lot of fun to make and make up my own colors. It doesn't really have like a very specific color story, right? Like the Tarte Pro palette has a very specific color story when it's sold in stores. It's very like rosy and purpley, but this has, you know, some peach tones mixed in with it, along with some neutral shades, which the Tarte Pro palette doesn't really, I think, have the good transition shades and stuff like that, but I added in a good transition shade for this palette, so I think it would do really well on its own. But yeah, that's my custom palette that I made with all of my palettes that were kind of poopy. I combined them together to make something really cool. Now something else I made is this palette, and I know you're probably looking at this like, Shelby, that's a book. That's not a palette. Now for this palette, I didn't want to go out and buy a new book, obviously. Reduce, reuse, right? So I went to this place called Goodwill Outlet in my city, and it's where they sell things by the pound, which is the coolest thrift store you can ever go to. If you have one in your area, I highly suggest you check it out. But where they sell books, they actually sell them like in numbers, right? So they sell 5 books for $1. I got these 5 books for $1. Yeah, it's crazy. So this one was originally a children's book. I just basically took all of the pages out, and then after I had all of those out, I used my scalpel from, again, this instrument set, and then I put the magnet backing onto the book, which it already had self-adhesive, so that was super helpful. And I did get these on Amazon, so I'll link those below as well. If you want to try something like this out, it's really easy to get it on Amazon. It gets here in 2 days. I'm a big fan of Amazon, okay? And then after I had the magnet placed into the palette, I then took out the other powders that I wanted to put into my palette. So I found a lot of highlighters and blushes recently in duplicates, like I already have them in my collection, so I didn't need to keep them for myself. So I thought I would depot them and put them in this palette right here. So that's what I did. Well, Madison helped me because I was really scared that when I took them out I would break them, and a couple of them did, so I had to pack them back together. But after I depotted them from their original pots, I just put the magnet on the back of them just like you saw me do with the book. You just have to cut it out to fit the shape that you want it to be and put it on the magnet, and boom! You have your own Z palette. You can make another custom palette with whatever colors you want, which again I think is so fun and also really easy to like have a palette of all your favorite highlights and blushes, as opposed to digging through your stuff every time you want to use one and figuring out where they are and all that good stuff. So the ones I have in the palette right now are 2 Wet n Wild blushes that I found recently, perfectly still in the packages with the plastic on them. And then I have 2 Becca highlighters. I think this one is Copper, this one's Moonstone. This is a Lorac blush. This is an Urban Decay highlighter in Aura. And then these are 2 Anastasia. This is a highlighter and this is a blush. So I don't know, I just thought this was fun. It's a really cool way to reuse the books as well as the highlighters and blushes themselves. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys today. I hope that maybe this inspired you to go and make your own Z palette if you want to get all of your things into one area. I encourage you guys to use books that you already have. Don't go out and buy a book to remake a Z palette. That defeats the purpose of everything I'm doing. But beyond that, I hope that it's encouraging you guys to reuse things, to think of things a little bit differently than you normally would have, and find ways to reuse things that you already have or that you can buy used. Because what's really cool about those Goodwill outlets I was telling you all about, basically after those items go to Goodwill, the regular Goodwill stores, they ship it to the outlet and they put it out there, like I said, to buy in terms of pounds. And if it doesn't get bought at the end of the day, it gets thrown out. So when I go to thrift stores like that, I don't feel bad about, you know, buying things, because first of all, they're not new, but otherwise if you don't buy them, they get thrown out. So it's almost like dumpster diving, but you're paying a little bit of money for it. And a lot of you guys seem to like when I go thrift shopping, so if you want to see me do like a vlog where I just go to that thrift store, could be fun. Let me know if y'all are interested in seeing that. Okay, now is the moment that you've all been waiting for. I'm sure you knew this was coming, but yes, I'm going to give away both of these palettes. I have way more makeup than I know what to do with. It makes me feel better about myself when I get to give things back to you guys instead of keeping multiple things that I have. I could have posted this type of stuff for sale on my website, but I think it's better to just give it to you guys. I don't know, maybe that makes me weird. I am weird, we all know this. But anyway, I'm gonna give away the palette that I made, the custom Z palette that I made. I'm gonna get, you can't hear me because of the books in front of my face. But I am going to give away this Z palette that I made. I started decorating it, as you could see, but then I started thinking, what if the person who wins it doesn't like the design? And so I stopped, and you can do whatever you want on the back. You can obviously even redo the front. And I left this to you, and I left you a little bit of extra room in the Z palette as well to put some of your things in here. This is a good mix of blushes and highlights to win, I think. I think this is worth quite a bit of money with the Becca blushes and the Anastasia blushes and all that good stuff. So this is what you can win on my YouTube channel. All you have to do to be entered to win this palette is leave a comment down below telling me something that you're looking forward to in the future. And that can be, you know, this year, this month, in the next decade, or just a goal you have in life in general. I'm really interested to hear that because I tend to get more excited about short-term goals, and if it's a long-term goal, I don't let myself get excited about it. So I'm interested to see how you guys will respond to me just telling you to tell me something you're looking forward to. So leave a comment with that down below. Of course, you do have to be subscribed and you have to like this video. And since I said I'm giving away both of these palettes, I want you guys to know I am giving away this one as well, but this one I'm giving away on my Instagram. And you can enter to win both of them. You can enter once a day on my Instagram and on my YouTube if you want. But to win this one, all you have to do is go follow my Instagram. It's at Shelbizleee with 3 E's. All of my social medias are Shelbizleee with 3 E's because people ask me all the time. They're all the same. I'm really lucky for that. You just have to go follow my Instagram, and since I don't want to just draw from all of my followers, you also have to leave a comment on one of my pictures on my Instagram. Any of them, whichever one's your favorite, and you can say whatever you want. And starting today, I'll start recording the names of people who are leaving me comments. So that's all you have to do is follow me on Instagram and leave me a comment to win this one, and you have to leave a comment on here and like and subscribe to win this one. You can enter for both of these, and you can enter once per day. And I'm gonna announce the winner on May 1st in my YouNow live stream. So there's that. So that's it. Like I said, I hope this encourages you guys to maybe start reusing things. Maybe if you are a dumpster diver yourself, when you see a palette that isn't in the greatest condition, you keep it and you combine it with some other ones that aren't in the greatest condition to make your own. Like I said, the more things we can get out of the landfill and do something else with them, that's what I'm all about. And if you're a dumpster diver, you also should really pick this up. Like I said, the link is going to be in the description. If you want to make the custom Z palette, I'll go ahead and link the magnetic sheets that I bought because they work really well. And that's it for today, you guys. So remember, until next time, create the peace.